Well, hey there folks, you have landed on another episode of the BRO Reloading Bench. I am Wade Rush. I host the Bubba Roundtree Outdoors channel here on YouTube and abroad. I had promised you guys I was going to get back to you about the Ballistic Products Crown Crimp Starter, and so we're going to touch on that today. We're going to talk about what are the advantages of this thing, if any, and maybe any other questions that you might be thinking about. Stand by, guys. I'm going to bring you a video. The Ballistic Products Super Crown Crimper. My buddy Mr. Jack Middleton sent it to me. I don't know if he had an extra one or whatever else, but I was talking about it with him, and he wanted me to give it a try. So I'm gonna demo this thing, and I've got a Mech 650 right here, and all you got to do is remove your spendex starter. There's really not a whole lot to them. I've already taken mine out. See, it is just basically a bolt that the starter snaps onto, like that, onto your machine. I've removed that from my 650, and Jonathan at Ballistic Products has got a demo video on how he installed this thing, but it's pretty self-explanatory. You can see here it is out of the box, 6-point, and it just uses a wing nut for adjustment. So I'm gonna see if we can get it installed on this machine. I'm just gonna remove this. Yeah, this is the lever that pushes the bar. I don't need it automatically to move the charge bar, so I'm just going to remove this. That'll solve my problem. I've got this machine set up for 3-inch. There. Alright, it's on there now, but now the adjustment is going to be the critical factor. We'll cover that in the next segment, guys. I'm going to work on getting this thing adjusted, and I'm going to get this out of the way, and then I'll get right back with you. The Super Crown Crimp Starter from Ballistic Products lists for around $29 to $30 normally. At the time that I'm making this video right now, they have them on sale for $24 and change, as listed on the site at the time of this video. So around $24 and change, you could pick one up right now. My machines are old, pre-1980. They were manufactured back in the mid-70s, I believe. I've got an old 650 and an even older 600 Junior. And when these machines first came out on the market, they came with a crimp starter that looked like this. Matter of fact, this is the crimp starter that came off of my old Mech 600. These things are indestructible. This thing is heavy. It feels like a lead fishing weight. And this one has the 8-point starter, and it pivots and all that inside here, just like the newer spendex starters do. But whenever you needed to go from an 8 to a 6 or 6 to an 8, you had to take this apart and replace the insides of the starter and put the little brass die in there for whichever 6 or 8 that you needed to use. Mech moved from this to what they call the spendex starter. It is a polymer, plastic, Teflon crimp starter that fits a little ball snap that it snaps onto. This is a very weak point on these. I loved them. I still use them. I love them because of that right there. But what happens, you can see this one is already just about ready to turn loose. It's got a little while. It's probably got a few thousand left in it. But I don't load hundreds. I load thousands around here. So we really use these machines a lot. And so when I needed to go from a 6 to an 8 or 8 to a 6, with this unit mounted on there, it's just as simple as popping it off and snapping another one on. But like I said, this is a weak spot on this thing. I don't know how many. I've probably worn a half a dozen of these things out just in the last few years. Now, I've got a buddy, Mr. Jack Middleton, down in Waycross, Georgia, contacted me the other day, and he said, "Wade, have you tried this this new crown crimper from Ballistic Products?" I said, "No, I haven't, because Jonathan hadn't sent me one to review, and I had seen them on the site, but really had not paid a whole lot of attention to them because it wasn't something that my Spendex starters were getting the job done, and so I hadn't thought anything about it." So Jack said, "Well, here, let me send you this thing, and you can take a look at it and review it and see how you like it." Well, the advantages to the crown crimp starter is that this thing will fit a 10 gauge to a 16 gauge. The large one goes from 16 to 10 gauge. It'll fit any of those hulls that you want to run under and get the crimp started. That's a huge advantage to something like that. And this thing is made out of brass and steel and a wing nut. Plastic hulls are not going to wear that thing out. Once you get it, it's going to last forever on your machine. I would figure it would last forever. You get a 6-point, get an 8-point, you never have to buy them again if you had a 10 to 16 gauge, and you even reload heavily like I do. I'm going to run some demonstrations right here from previous videos to show you. I've run several through there and been very impressed at how it's worked so far. I don't foresee really any problems with it. As far as a crimp starter goes, it gets the job done, and you're only going to buy it one time. You cannot get the heavy-duty replacements like this anymore. These are not made anymore. If you don't have them, you can't get them unless you find them used on used machines. Spendex starter can range in price from $12 to $20, and you get a 6 and an 8 whenever it comes in a kit, if you get it off of Amazon or eBay or somewhere like that. So you can look at, you're going to be paying anywhere from $12 to $20 for a set of Spendex starters whenever you buy them. And like I said, the brass Super Crown crimper, I'll have a picture right here. There's several different sizes that they have over at Ballistic Products on these crimp starters, the Super Crown crimp starters. Several different sizes. It looks to me like it's going to be an excellent product. It's going to be on this, I'm going to leave it on this machine for a while, and we're going to see how it works out. But I think there's going to be a lot of advantages to it, guys. Get by ballisticproducts.com. Check out what they've got going on right now. They've got a lot of things on sale. This is Wade Rush with the BRO channel, guys. We'll be back with another BRO Reloading Bench soon. Bye-bye.